Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for the support. So today, sticking with Christmas, like I said, this one is the Winter Wildlife Deluxe craft pad. As you can see, it's fallen apart, but I'm going to be playing with probably this owl. Well, I know it's going to be this owl image here. So I've got a bit of a new card fold for you. It's quite similar in some ways to one that we've done before, but we'll see how it goes. I may have to measure it for my mats and layers, etc. But I think it's an interesting fold, and it ends up going in a 6x4 sort of envelope, but it's quite thick, so it probably would have to be a box envelope. So we're starting out as normal with a 6x12 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to start by popping this in, and I'm moving this up to the 1.5 inch mark, and I'm doing a cut from 2 to 6, and then I'm going to have to turn it over to do the other side because I want them on exactly the same place. So again, from that 6 down to 2. So you should have something that looks a little bit like that. And then if I pop that down for a second and bring in the scoreboard. So with your cuts 2 inches from there, so we're going to start on this side, and I'm going to score at 2 inches up to the cut, and then if I take that off, pop that back in, and then I can do the 2 inches up to the cut on the other side. And then on the 4 we're going completely across, so that's 4 inches, and then at the 6 inch we're doing the same thing with those up to the cut line. I'm gonna have to come underneath again and score there. And then because I've got the shorter board, I'm going to turn that around, and if you've got the longer board you're going to be scoring 8, so you've got 2 inches from this last cut line to the last score, but because I've turned it around I've got to score at 4. Okay, so I'm hoping you can kind of see what that looks like. So we've got the score at 2 inches up to the cut line, 4 inches straight across, 6 inches up to the cut lines, and then 8 inches across. Now we have to burnish these folds in, so I'm just going to start with the full ones first. So it doesn't matter which way you burnish them because we can move them about, but it's just get that fold that in. So the card does go this way, and then what you're going to do, no it doesn't, it goes that way, got it upside down. So you're going to gently, and that one goes back, so okay, so I'll just hold it up so you know which way it goes. So it is a bit of a figuring it out. So you've got the first fold from this short edge, the 2 inch is a valley, no that's a mountain, and then you've got a valley, and this one is a mountain, and then you've got a mountain and a valley. Okay, so I'm just going to let you see that. So this back one is going in on itself, and then you've got what kind of looks a bit like a stepper card there, and I suppose if you had a 4x6 card blank on the back of that, you could make it into a stepper step card, and then have a card at the back. Maybe even if you left that a bit longer, you could have an 8 inch card, a 6 inch card at the top, and then that would come above. Would be pretty stunning, but it would take a lot of cardstock. So we're just going to stick with this. As you can see, that would then fit into a 6x4, but it is quite chunky, so, and that's without the layers on, so I think it probably would need a little box or a box envelope. Okay, so let's do some decorating. So I'm going to come in with my 6x6 mirrors, just because I think that's going to be easier. And this piece on the back is 4x6, so I'm going to come in 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 6, and that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. And then I'm not going to decorate this piece here, so I'm going to leave that white, but I am going to decorate these pieces inside and obviously the front. So for these pieces at the side, they're 1.5 by 2 inch, I believe. Yep. And there's 4 of those. So let's have a look at the size of this. So 1.5 minus 2 notches. I think I'm going to use another piece of card just so I get those straight. So 1.5 minus 2 notches. And I'm going to do 2 of those. 1.5 minus 2 notches. And then we need it to be 2 notches under the 2. And again 2 notches under the 2, and I'm probably going to get one more. 2 notches under the 2, and 2 notches under the 2. So I've got a piece left over, so I'm just going to check these. I'm pretty sure they should be okay, and they are. So that's those. Let's fold those over. So I want a piece to go down here, which is going to be 2x6. So I'm going to take 2 notches off 2, 2 notches off 6, and then this piece here, which I am going to overlay. So I'm going to do a piece to fit 4 by 3. So just pop these bits out of the way. So I'm going to go 2 notches under 4 and 2 notches under 3, and I think that should be perfect for there. Now my topper, bear with me 2 seconds, sorry, just have to have a little coughing fit. So my topper is going to come some of the way down this, so you will see something coming through, so I do need to decorate that. But if you just wanted to do a piece to pop in there, you could do, because the topper will come over a little bit there, but you would have a piece going there because of that anyway, if you know what I mean. So let's grab the next piece, which is going to be this one with the owl. So I kind of thought I wanted the owl to be on this outside piece here. So let's start by cutting that at 3 3/4. And then that's going to be by 5 3/4. And that should fit on there quite nicely. It does. Okay, and then I want a piece, I think I'll use this bit here. So it needs to be 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I'm going to have that on that side piece there. Okay, now I need some pieces that are going to be 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. So let me just check I've measured that right with those little square pieces. My hands are a bit dry. Yeah. So 1 3/4, and we need 4 of those. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get them all out of one strip, but yeah, I am. Look. So that's going to be perfect. So we've got all 4 of those, and then we just need a piece to mat onto here. Let me grab the top and we'll see if we can get away with using that small bit rather than using another piece. I'm using the owl topper, just whipping that out quickly. Sorry, like I said, my hands are just a little dry. Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do is use another piece of this. So this was the 3x4, wasn't it? 3x4. So I'm going to take a piece 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then that should fit onto there quite nicely. Okay, so it does use up most of that cardstock. We've only got a little bit left. We pop those to the side. You never know if we might be able to use those later on. Okay, so let's do some assembling. So again, as usual, I'm going to be using my Kalau all-purpose glue in this dispenser, and I've got Kalau tacky glue in this little dispenser. So I do use a mix of both of them, and I have refilled them just before I started today. So I put my Kalau all over, my all-purpose all over, and not going too near the edges because of this being mirror card. And then I put a little bit of tacky in the corner just to make sure that glues down pretty smartish, and I can move on to my next layer without having to worry about this layer moving. And also just making sure when I pop that down that I'm making sure that that crease line, that fold that we've put in there, is not going to be covered over by any card, because obviously that's going to stop the card opening. Okay, and then this one's going on again, so nice and flat, and this is the beautifully foiled bit. You've got these lovely golden snowflakes on it coming through, and even just that as a card by itself would be absolutely beautiful. So that's really pretty. So I think we'll go in with these little bits next, because I think they're going to be tricky and I want them stuck down. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of all-purpose in the middle, tacky in those corners, and just put that into place. It's just a question of just working through all of those layers. Just with a little bit of glue on there, which is annoying me. You can just see it in the light, so it's not going to be visible when the card's made, though, I don't think, because it's pretty much going to be covered up. I was shopping yesterday in online, so I don't very often leave the house. I was looking for envelopes, and because obviously I make a 6x6 card, and I found a place called World of Envelopes. I've ordered some different ones from there to see what they're like. And when they come, it says it's supposed to be like quite a quick delivery, so ordered a couple of different ones to try out, and then when I get them I'll show you, and then you can see how we get on with them, because I think envelope making is probably the most boring bit. Unless you're doing a decorated envelope, you know, if you're going to give someone it in the hand. Like with the wax seals, and I know Craig for his advent calendar one put the charms on the seal yesterday. So, and then it's a bit more exciting, but otherwise it's just not my favourite thing to do, to be honest. But they seem to have a range of different sizes, sort of. So hopefully I'll find something that works, and then it's one less thing for me to do. I can just concentrate on the card making. I don't mind making the little 3x6 envelopes because they're quite cute, and they're quite easy with the envelope maker as well, the Crafter's Companion one. Okay, so I'm quite happy with those. So they look pretty good. So we've got our little border here. And if you wanted to, what you could do is use this holly leaf. I think you'd probably have enough to do these bits in green if you wanted to do it the other way around. Pretty sure you'd have enough there because there was a bit left over. You know, you can mix it up if you want to. You could also, you know, put an embossed panel in here. Sorry, this little string there. Put a bit of ribbon on this. You know, however you want to mix it up. Oh, there's my wire. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just sort that out. Sorry about that. It was loose when I started today, so I did just sort of put some tape on it earlier, and I was hoping it would be okay just to keep it up in this corner. It's still playing up, so I don't want it to be on there permanently in case I need to move it, so I'm using a bit of tape just to keep it out of the way. Okay, so there is where we are at the moment. So we've got our owl on the back, we've got our fold ones in, we've got our main bit there. So this one, I'm going to come in, glue this bit on first. Now when it comes to foam pads with this, because it's already quite a chunky card, I'm not going to go really high with that topper. I'm just going to go with a 1mm. So just to try and keep that down as much as we can. So I think I'm just wondering whether to put that on a little bit of a foam pad anyway. No, I'm not going to. If you want to, you can put this bit on a foam pad and then put your topper on flat maybe, or you could still go ahead and foam pad that up depending on how you think you're going to be sending it. Okay, so that's going on, so I'm just going to give that a little hold down. There we go, fine. Okay, so let's grab our foam pads, and I thought I'd got these ready beforehand, but I haven't. Let's go with this. I think there are 2mm, but we'll have to make a box for it. Okay, so let's just turn our little owl over. And to there. Okay, a bit of tacky glue in those corners. Ooh, just in case something like that happens. Okay, and then we can decide where we want this to go. I sort of was thinking that I wanted that to come over, but maybe I should centralise that a little bit more. Yeah, we will. We'll put it in the centre. And then I can put some gems down those edges. Then we need a little sentiment. So let's have a look. What have we got? We've got have a holly jolly Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That one's got deers on for a dear friend. Have a wild Christmas. I think I'm going to go with holly jolly, just because it's one of the smaller ones, and with this being a smaller card, let's grab my knife. Look, put it away tight. So I'm just going to take those pips out. Hopefully it's come out quite easily. There we go. And we just have to decide where we want that to go. We could go up there. Thinking it probably needs to go on the back, even though you're not going to see much of it until the card is opened. Let me grab these. Let's use one of these. These are not Hunkydory or Crafter's Companion, but they are only 1mm. Try not to use them because they fall apart like this, but I think it's going to be okay just for this piece. And I'll put plenty of glue on anyway. I think Mum got these from the pound shop, or it might have been Amazon. They were Mum's anyway. There we go. So just put that on. It's all quite nice and straight. So that's on there. So let's grab ourselves some gold pearls. Let's put some of those in there. And I've got my picky tool. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with air bubbles in my glue. 3 on the top there. And I think you're about the same size. And then if I turn it around, shake these, just get rid of some of these bigger ones because I'm definitely not using those. And then I'm going to go with 3 of the smaller ones, I think. Here. There we go. So that's about where we want them to be, and then just to have my 7, just to tie them into those behind, just going to pick a slightly bigger one, not hugely bigger, and go on to there. Do you know, I don't know how I survived without these gold pearls. It's like my life must have been so empty without them, isn't it ridiculous? But that's the card finished, so it's going to stand like so. It's going to be really difficult for me to show you, but it's quite impressive, you know, as cards go, and quite different to anything I've done before. And that is called a Trifold Shutter card. I did find it on Pinterest, and there was a template there for a 5.5 by 6 card, but I thought, if I keep it with my 6, it's not made much of a difference, if any at all, but there you go. I'm quite pleased with that one. It's quite a nice different card. So I'm just going to pop that down and get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I thought I would do a full easel card, which I haven't done for a while. Usually I do a lot of half easels, but I thought it might be nice to do a full one. So I've got a 6x12 piece of 300 GSM white card, and I'm going to score at the 6-inch mark, and I'm also going to score at the 3-inch mark. Okay. And that's going to be the support. Let me take that out. Wait a minute. Just so that good burnish down on the flat surface just seems to fold a bit better. So we're going to have our piece of card that comes across here, which I'm going to do in a second. And then it's just like decorating 2 6x6 cards really. Okay, so let's bring the trimmer in, and I've got a piece of card which is 6x12. I'm just going to first off just cut that down to 6. Actually, I'll put that piece there in case I need to do a 3x6 card later. And then this should fit exactly over there. Let's just see, it's just a tad longer on that side. Let's just take that fly's eyelash off. It should fit quite snugly on, like so. So now once that's glued on, you'll see that's how the card goes. So let's bring in gold mirror card. We are still working with gold, yes we are. And we need 2 pieces that are 2 notches under 6 by 2 notches under 6. If this is too thin a border for you, then obviously go for maybe go down by 1/4 inches. I just like the thin borders round. So I need a piece for the top and a piece for the bottom, so I'm just putting those through. And if I just check that piece fits on there quite nicely, then I'll know both of them do. It's just a little bit off. Just see how that fits. Let me just check that because it's right, so that should be 6 is not square. Let me just put that into my bit box. That should be fine, so hopefully get that way around. It does fit better. I don't think that's entirely square itself, but let's see what that's like on there. Yeah, it's fine on there. And then just to be sure, I'll check that bottom piece. I'm happy with that. Okay, so because I'm going to be using the deer, I've switched over to the printed cardstock, and for the top I'm going to be cutting a piece that's 5 3/4 square, keeping the deer as my image because that's quite central to my design. And then if I just check, it fits on there quite nicely, and it does. And then the insert, there isn't a specific deer one. I'm not going to try and cut it on there. Let's bring in the guillotine. So I'm using the one with the squirrel because we've got this decoration in the corner. So the insert, there's one with an owl picture on, or there's this one with a squirrel. So there's also a squirrel on this page. But we will just cut this down to 5 3/4 square. And that's going to be on the base of our card. That will still act as an insert, but it's also going to be quite a decorative piece of our design. Okay, so let's pop those out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. I'm just checking this card because piece that hangs over there, so I'm wondering whether it's this card that's not straight. Right, let me just cut another piece and I'll just score that again. Bear with me, I'm just going to fast forward to when that's done, just to make the video a little bit quicker. Okay, so what I've done is just exactly the same thing, just with another piece of card. And I've checked it with this piece here, it fits the same, so I'm happier with that. So I'm going to grab a piece of a red liner tape, use this little piece here, last bit on the roll. That's just for a little bit of extra support. The rest is all going to be by the I'm just going to cut a bit off there. The rest of the support is coming from the actual PVA glue, the tacky glue. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the glue on this flap here because I don't want any glue or any sticky stuff on this top half, otherwise my card is not going to open as I need it to. So just and I am using the tacky glue on this one, it's just quicker. I will put my normal glue in the middle though. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just going to turn that around and I'm going to go corner to corner and give that a good press down. And then now you can see that my card is that shape. So it does need a press down, but it will press down as we're working on it. And that will glue solid. Okay. So let's come in with these layers, just checking that one does still fit. And it does. Because this is the top of our card, I can go ahead and pop my normal glues on and we'll pop that into place like so. Now what I'm going to do now is just work on the underneath. We don't need that bit for a second. I'm just going to put my all-purpose glue all over. Just move those over a little bit. That's going in the centre. And because this is insert paper, my technique at the moment is all-purpose in the middle, a dotty tape pen from Crafter's Companion. Oops, just put my hand in that glue on those corners so that I still get that quick stick that I want, but I've also got that ability to float that about. And I think I want it with this in the corner there. And then when I'm happy, I can just give it a press down on those glue dots. And that's going to hold it while that other glue sets, and I'm giving it a good press down so that we can use it as a normal insert and it's nice and easy to write on. So that's the base done. Now for the top I've got this really pretty pastel blue ribbon and it matches in quite nicely with this one. So I'm just going to try and find an end. Let's undo it a little bit. Where are you? Come on. Shouldn't be that hard to find you, surely. Oh, I'll take the whole back. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just going to take a small piece. I just want a little bit on this corner as a decoration. So I'm going to use Another little bit of red liner tape. Again, last bit of this roll, using up bits and pieces that I've got. And another little bit. And pop that there. And then if I just see where I want that to go, it's going to go somewhere around about there. And what I'm going to do is if I hold that there, hold that there, I can pop that over. It was very clumsily done, so I apologise. Seem to be having trouble with my hands today, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I just walked George before I came up. Maybe I should do it after. Do this first and then walk George after. Try that next time. Okay. So we've just got a little bit of ribbon detail in that bottom corner. So now I can go ahead with my normal glues. Pop a little bit of glue in those corners. I put a little bit of tacky glue on the end of the ribbon and underneath the ribbon just to keep the ribbon in place, and it also will stop it fraying. So let's pop that on like so. And then if I save my glue, come in with the toppers, and it's just a small little topper, which is nice because that means I can use this big piece here. So I'm going to come in there, and obviously I've got to use for a dear friend, otherwise none of the other sentiments will make sense. I don't think I'm going to use any of the borders. I think I'm just purely going to go with those two. Now I don't know if I want that dear friend. Actually, the border I'm going to use as a stopper. So change my mind. I want that on the front because I think that just looks nice there. So let's grab some foam pads. These are the ones that I used earlier, the 2mm ones. So just taking that one off there as well. So we'll grab that one. And that one. And that one. So we're just going to pop this up in this corner so you've got the benefit of seeing these beautiful deers underneath. And the deer in the corner. I think this is the third card in a week that I've made with deers on. It's a bit odd, isn't it? How they all seem, well, like buses in it. Wait ages for a deer and then you get 3 coming along at once. Okay, so let's pop that on there. So I've just cut this pad in half. And we'll pop that on there. Still got a beautiful little robin on there as well. A lot of detail in here. You could go in and glitter it. I'm not going to today. I'm just going to keep it quite quite plain. I think I probably should have done a bow in that other corner. It would have evened it up a bit, but no, I'm not worried about that. We'll put some gems up there. Maybe I can find some nice blue ones. Okay, so the border I've got in here, I think this one's a bit dark, but this blue one fits in with the tones on this one. So let's just snip that out carefully without cutting my fingers. I find with these craft pads that they do tend to stay in the pad a lot. The pips seem to be a bit closer on them, so just be careful when you're pulling bits out. And I'm going to go pretty much the whole way along, so let's just cut that there, and then I can cut it at 5 3/4. Keep that with the pad. So and that's going to go in there. I think we'll grab one of these ones. These are still 2mm, but it's in the strip, so it's going to go all the way across in one go. I think I might put a little one on the other side. There we go. That's got a nice bit of lift to help our card stay where we want it to go. And then as always, just a little bit of tacky glue on those foam pads. And there's no right or wrong way, because you've got the design that way and then the design that way, so they're both the same. So I think I'm going to go about maybe there, yeah, up there. So that's how it's looking at the moment. So let's grab some gems. So I've got some brighter blue ones there. Let's see if there's any pastel ones. So I've got those ones, they look a bit more, yeah, let's go for those. Okay. So let's put those away. And I'm just going to turn that around. And I think I'm going to go with one big one and two little ones. And I still do put glue on, even though these are self-adhesive. I just like to, you know, it gives it a bit of wiggle room time, so if you don't get them quite straight, which these things are really hard to get straight or in a straight line, the spacing and that, just gives you that little bit of wiggle room time. Look at that, I say it's hard to get them straight, and then for the first time in my life, what do? Oh no, let's move that a little bit that way, a little bit that way. Okay, sorry, just fiddling. And then I'm going to put two down here, big one and a small one. And that uses up most of these then. So there we go. And that is that one finished. So let me just show you. Oh, it's sliding down with the glue. Let's just. So that glue usually takes pretty quickly, but for some reason I decided to have a little wander. So let me grab my little smooshy thing. Take some of that glue away, maybe there's a bit too much there. Okay, so that is our second card. I can see already it's moved a little bit, so I need to put that back straight, but I'll do that before I take the photo. I'll bring in that other card. There we go. So this is our Trifold Shutter again. Okay, so that's it for today. So again, carrying on with Christmas next time. I'm not sure which one it'll be, whichever one takes my fancy. It's nice to work back through the kit from this time. Maybe I should get some of the Christmas decollage out and give you a few ideas for that. If there's anything you particularly want to see, I've got most of the kits. I haven't got the poinsettia one, but if there's something that you've seen that you know I've got a kit of and you want to see something from there, give us a little shout out and I'll do my best. But yeah, that's it for today. So I'll be back. What day are we today? We are Wednesday, are we? No, Tuesday. So I'll be back on Thursday with another video. Hopefully you'll be able to join me. But until then, take care. Happy crafting. Bye.